everybody, welcome back to the Moose. We're going to continue on now with these lessons, and if you remember in the last series we were talking about 4/4 timing. Now in this series of lessons we're going to be using the G, C, and D chords and using some basic rhythms to lay down over the guitar track that I put on the last series as well, so that you can practice these rhythm patterns and your chord changes as well over those 8 measures that I laid down in, again, 4/4 time. Now to start off, I'd like to show you a couple of chords down by the nut. This is a 2-finger C chord. Now, this C chord is coming out of the 2nd string position, and I'm not going to explain why right now, but I will very soon in an upcoming lesson. But this 2-finger C chord consists of using your index finger to fret the 2nd string just behind the 1st fret, and your ring finger is going to fret the 1st string just behind the 2nd fret. Now in this example of rhythm we're going to be using a 3-finger pinch on the 5th, 1st, and 2nd strings. So that pinch using this 2-finger C chord is going to sound like this. Again, it's using those 3 strings to create that 3-finger pinch. Now I want to show you a D7th chord. Okay, a 2-finger D7th chord, and we're going to leave our index finger fretted behind the 2nd string of the 1st fret, and now we're going to use the middle finger of our left hand to fret the 3rd string just behind the 2nd fret. Now if I strum those strings, that's creating what they call a D7th chord. Now in future lessons I'm going to be explaining what constitutes these chords, the makeup of different chords, whether they be major or minor or 7th or 6th chords, and many other chords, to teach you how they're made. Using scales, actually. I'm not going to get into that right now, but pretty soon down the line I'm going to be explaining why these chords are what they are, and using these different 7th chords and minor chords and 6th chords gives your playing different flavors, I like to call them, different flavors or different colors in your playing to create just some great effects when you're soloing and in your backup as well. So this 4/4 time, let me show you the basic rhythm pattern now that we're going to use in this 4/4 time, and it consists of picking the 3rd string with your thumb, and now doing that 3-finger pinch. We're just going to hit the open strings now on the 5th, 2nd, and 1st strings. So we're going to do that twice. So that's our count of 4, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, all those notes I was playing was using the quarter notes, okay? And even though I was hitting all those strings at one time in that pinch, there's still 3 quarter notes, but they're hit together, so they still have that one beat associated with it, okay? So again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, using those quarter notes. Now these quarter notes are going to be used a lot in your playing, especially in your backup when you're using these pinches again to when I start to talk about vamping and backing up other musicians as well. We're going to be using them a lot. So we have those 8 measures now to work with over that guitar track, and you remember they consisted of 1 measure in G, another measure in C, another measure in G, another measure in D, another measure in G, one more in C, back to G. Now that seventh measure, remember, has a chord change within that seventh measure, right in the middle of the seventh measure between G and D, and then back to G again for the eighth measure. So now using those two finger chords, the C formation and the D7th formation, I'm going to play through those 8 measures now that you can practice over that guitar track that I laid down using this basic rhythm pattern. So it would sound something like this. Again, that was 8 measures using those chords, again, in 4/4 time. And remember, we were using all quarter notes, so we're again associating the 4/4 time with those 4 beats. And again, you remember that quarter note in 4/4 time is equal to 1 beat. So we're playing those four beats associated with using these quarter notes. So you can practice on that using those that basic rhythm pattern over that guitar track, and we're going to get into putting the rolls within this 4/4 time and your left hand techniques, and we're just going to keep it on going, everybody. So hey, thanks for joining me again, and we'll see you next time right here on musicmoose.org.